Welcome back to another episode of Film Room with Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, brought to you by Twin Cities Orthopedics. Now, Coach, you used the term complementary football. We've heard you say it. I think Sunday was a perfect example of that.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of the back and forth in games, where it's going to be close throughout. We were able to get a lead by really playing really well on both sides of the ball, but then the defense really picked us up in the second half, getting a couple turnovers. You would love to sustain a little bit more on offense. Good defense that we played against, and there's 1,000 things I could have done better there to help our team. But one of the things that helped our team really 2 weeks in a row now is the quarterback's mobility. And when you're down in the red zone, a lot of times it becomes on schedule, can become off schedule in a hurry. And really what we're trying to do right here is expecting to attack split safety coverage. We really have TJ kind of isolated on the backside. If we were to get man coverage, maybe he can come to life. But really, you want to be able to run a concept that's good versus man, but also have some answers versus zone. So as we look at this concept, we're really going to just try to space it out on the front line, where you've got TJ with some space right there, Brandon Powell right there, and then we're going to essentially be running Jordan Addison and Speedy Naylor across the back line. So when you're looking at this, you're really trying to start here with that read and then kind of feel the squeeze from there. If we can get that defender to tuck in at all, we'll have a void right there to TJ. And then if the safety wants to come up and join the party right there, then we have those backline in cuts. So not all plays that you plan to have happen play out the same way, but what I want to look at is just the off-schedule ability of Josh. So right here, this is really rare, and Josh makes a huge run, makes this free, the nickel miss in space, but look at BP kind of pivot out of this route and end up coming open late. These are things that you, as a coach, you don't get a lot of time on task to practice the scramble drill. So when you see your guys doing it naturally like this, you know that there's some good things out ahead of us throwing the ball in on some of these off schedules, but I have no issues throwing up my hands and saying, how the heck did he just do that? And I'll show you how he did it with really good technique and fundamentals. Look at him, eyes on his progression. He's really trying to see if he can get BP over the middle right now, trying to feel the squeeze from there. Pretty good initial protection right there, steps up in the pocket, tries to find TJ, and then on his way to kind of feeling those back end line in cuts, he's going to really feel the ability of getting out of there. Just good, instinctive, two hands on the ball the whole time. And then I don't know who he was pointing to, maybe PA up in the booth right there, but he's able to look off that defender and get in the end zone. Rare athletic ability at this level to be able to have a walk-in or a leap-in touchdown like Josh had.
And an amazing job of the offensive line to maintain that pocket, to let him go
connected.
Through
we talk to our guys,
fantastic.
Stay connected as long as possible. And another good example right here, end up getting split safety coverage, kind of, clock stopped in the 2-minute drive right here. We're essentially going to allow TJ to push vertical and try to lean right into that void. Because really when you're playing against two Tampa coverage, you got these high and wide safeties. Somebody from the box, more than likely this player is going to be your middle run-through player. You're going to have a hook player right here. That middle runner is going to get out of there. And now you'll see these voids, kind of one right there. And as you play it, TJ's going to do a great job inside releasing the nickel. You'll see Josh right there. See how he opened up his hip to the left right there, trying to get this safety to, we call it touch paint. If he can touch the numbers, you're going to have a nice little void. And you can see it present itself, a little pocket right there. Now it's about getting this ball up and down over Demario Davis, who ended up being the middle runner right there. And he does it as well as I've seen up and over that backer in rhythm before the safeties can squeeze it. So once again, good protection. You'll see Alex Madison, kind of a little nuance to this protection. We're not just going to have the backs check out. We're going to have the backs have the ability, as you see right here, to just kind of give a little nudge. To Cam. Garrett takes him over, and we end up getting that thrown up and over. So it's got to be all 11 doing their job. Josh had never actually had a full speed rep of that play. Kind of talked him through it. That was really the only one we had to do that last weekend, talking him through it on the fly. But clearly handled it with perfection right there. And then you talk about complementary football. One of the things our defense did in the second half, when Jameis Winston comes in the game, this guy's a former #1 pick. We kind of looked at it like, oh boy, like this guy can come in and really throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns in a half. I've seen him do it. I've been coaching against him on the other sideline when he did it. So good mixture of pressure and coverage from Flo. In this case, kind of a late stem. and you'll see Josh Metellus taking the A-gap right there, unblocked, getting by Kamara. And that forces Jameis to kind of throw one up to one of the better receivers in football. But Mekhi, if we look at that one more time from that look, you'll see Mekhi stay in phase. We've talked a lot about that. Tight thirds corner. Try to stay in phase where you can play the in-cut, the comeback, or the vertical route all in one. But what do you notice right here? Metellus is already, before anything's had a chance to really declare itself, Metellus is already making clean, legal contact on the quarterback as he throws it. Makes it really guesswork for Jameis, and he's gonna be aggressive, try to take a shot down the sideline, and watch Mekhi track it, high point it. Looks like an individual drill on a Thursday practice. Awesome to see right there. And then just seeing this one more time, Metellus, there he is. You're gonna see him walk up and hit that A-gap late. Let's see if we can get a good look at this. Harrison's gonna work away right there, take the center with him. We know, there he is again, 11 sacks, been huge for us all year. You can see what that does to their protection. That guard is thinking, I gotta block Danielle Hunter right there, opens up a crease right there in the A-gap. And Kamara, a little confusion right there, a little late with his eyes to come back and see that they've got a real problem. And then a ball goes up and it becomes us or them at that point, 50-50 ball. Huge play by the Rook right there. Hopefully he can gain a lot of confidence from that, as he should.
And to Metellus' credit, we've seen them scheme for him. The running back sometimes can't even take him down.
Yep.
So Josh has taken that game to that next level.
Yeah, he's been a part of so many. Thinking back to that Chicago game, thinking back to some of the earlier turnovers we've had, he's been a part of so many, whether he's picking up a fumble, whether he's forcing a fumble that Jay Hicks runs back for a touchdown, quarterback hits that eventually get intercepted. He almost took one away from Travis Kelce that I still believe was an interception, not a catch. I tried to talk to the officials about in that moment.
Good luck with that.
But I got 1,000 of them in my head, you can probably tell. But one thing I'll say is Brian Flores, his defensive staff, what they've been able to do with this group has been really exciting. And for a head coach to have a vision for what you want things to look like, and then to be able to get the right guy at the right time to come bring that to life, all credit to Flo and his staff and our players.
And we'll be able to see all that next week right here on Film Room with Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell.